Manor Castle.
My lords, it's a great pleasure to follow unexpectedly the noble Baroness Lady Sherlock. My noble friend Baroness Jones of Moulscombe has already focused on the issue of our essential responsibility to provide refuge for the people who served us and to whom we promised safety. And in the other place, Caroline Lucas highlighted how the government's planned Nationality and Borders Bill would criminalise a woman fleeing from the Taliban with her children, an intention the Home Secretary has reportedly confirmed since my Green colleague spoke. So I'll follow the noble Lord Newby in my brief time in looking at the bigger picture, given we now have to urgently make a root and branch review of our nation's place in the world, and of immediate import, end exercises in US-inspired sabre-rattling, as the noble Lord Lamont has said. And as the noble Baroness Lady Halleck said, the Integrated Review of Security, published just in April, is already hopelessly outdated. The tragic events in Afghanistan are a powerful indicator of the post-hegemon world in which we now live. We must never again see the UK blindly following the US, particularly into war, but also into other dangerous international policies. The UK should be working through international institutions within the rule of international law, working with like-minded nations to strengthen and support these mechanisms. That can start with working to rally the international community to present a common front to the Taliban, demanding respect for human rights and democracy. Next, the UK needs to stop pumping out weapons into a world awash with them. The Taliban is now extraordinarily well armed. Of the $83 billion the US spent on Afghanistan's army and police, a very large percentage was on weapons, now largely in Taliban hands. In the past decade, the UK has licensed the sale of £16.8 billion worth of arms to countries classified as not free. The standout obvious disaster is Saudi Arabia. Since the war in Yemen started, the UK has licensed the sale of £20 billion worth of arms to it. The use to which our weapons are now being put by Saudi Arabia are indefensible. But when regimes like this fall, as such regimes always fall, where will those weapons end up? Likely in hands like the Taliban's. We must stop being arms pushers. Finally, there's our nuclear weapons, acquired in the Cold War, now a long-gone era. I can only assume that when the noble and gallant Lord Houghton of Richmond was referring to totemic platforms of a bygone age, that was one weapon that he had in mind. They are, of course, in the Afghan crisis, irrelevant. They keep us in the club of nations who have hideous weapons of mass destruction, while use is unthinkable. We could take a major positive step in the new geopolitical order by joining the majority of the world's nations in backing a ban on nuclear weapons. More modestly, we could join the pushers for the no first use and to end the sole authority for use, which left so many terrified in the last days of the Trump presidency. And a final note, coming back home, what extra help is the government going to provide to veterans who served in Afghanistan and those still serving to deal with the shock of this month's events? This is a huge issue, as the noble Baroness Lady Tyler of Bolton highlighted. Thank you, my lords.
Lord MacDonald of River Glavin.